In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at this very active current conditions. We're seeing a whole lot on screen right now as I'm speaking. We're also going to dive into the upcoming pattern and just take a look at how all of this mess on the screen is going to progress, and also how we're going to see things happen over the coming days and even the next week or so. So let's just dive straight into things, and as you can see, we have plenty of storminess in the eastern United States. There is a bit out west here. We always start from west to east. It's just kind of been how I've always done things. And we can see snow showers here across the plains, actually. We'll take a look at those in a little bit, but that's scattered about. Then we see a cold front here extending all the way from the Great Lakes through the Ohio Valley down into the deeper south, like Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Louisiana. And this is bringing cold air behind it. This is all racing eastward. Meanwhile, we also have a tropical system that is combined with some of that cold front and really just led towards a very large, just monster-sized storm here in the eastern United States. And this is, again, tropical storm, or maybe even tropical depression. Now, Nicole here did become a Category 1 before landfall, actually. Very interesting. Let's zoom into some of these different areas, then we'll work our way eastward where the action's happening. We see some showers, snow, and rainfall here along the northwest coast there with a low that is offshore currently, so things will be getting stormier and stormier. As we work our way further south here, we can see this kind of like the southern extent here of this cold front. North of there, we have some snowfall showers, a pretty decent pocket of it for Colorado, Kansas, Oklahoma, Texas, and New Mexico. South of there, just south of there, we have some thunderstorms really developing for Texas in here, some severe in there as well, as you can see near Waco, Dallas, Fort Worth as well. And then we see showers here for northern Louisiana and southern Arkansas, as well as very far eastern Texas. As we work our way northward, we can see there is a low over Minnesota, and this is bringing pretty widespread snowfall to northern Minnesota there, and the southern South Canada there as well, just to the north of the Minnesota border. We do have a whole lot happening in the eastern United States, obviously, ahead of this cold front, or really the cold front is probably in here, and we're seeing this combination in here. So a lot of that there is from the cold front, and then as you work your way further eastward, a lot of it is more from that tropical system. So we see that this is located right about here, this tropical system over northern Georgia. So let's just take a look at that. Heading right for Atlanta, basically, and the windiest conditions are probably in this area, but certainly not the heaviest precipitation at this point. So this is going to be debatably the worst of the conditions, but really only if you're taking a look at windiness. As we work our way south of there, we can see that there is still some bands showing up here for Florida. They're still seeing impacts from this system. And even just to the east of the low pressure system, we have some heavier bands taking place here for coastal Georgia up through Columbia, South Carolina, areas like that. Now, as we work our way kind of just directly north of this low, we can see the heaviest and most persistent showers are taking place in here for Tennessee, North Carolina, Kentucky, and western Virginia. Certainly a flooding risk as there's moderate to heavy rainfall taking place. And actually, we do see some flooding warnings coming in near Asheville there in North Carolina as well. They're near the Smoky Mountains, so those areas have been seeing quite a bit of flooding. As we work our way northward, we can see more showers here to the north for Ohio, Pennsylvania, West Virginia, Maryland, and New York there. Again, light to moderate. And then it's mostly this pocket where the most concerning of the weather is happening. I would say this pocket here, where we're seeing more of the severe thunderstorms roll through and even tornadic storms for this area. In North Carolina, we've had a few tornadoes confirmed in there right near that warm front. So certainly something to watch out for, as we've had and still do have multiple tornado warnings throughout the morning so far. And that looks to continue on through the afternoon as the dynamics are just really, really good for tornadic activity, unfortunately. So it's really, over the next few hours, it's going to be these cells here as they come on shore that we're going to be watching for these areas. And even the ones that are still on shore here and still happening for Virginia and North Carolina in here. So we'll be watching for that later on today. Now what we're going to do is we're going to move on and we're going to take a look at the upcoming storminess. We're going to just watch this progress and see how things move on. and then we'll be taking an overall look at the next week or two. All right, now let's focus in on the upcoming pattern. We see our storminess here across the southeast. As this progresses, we see it moves up mostly into the northeast by time we're reaching tomorrow at about 5 a.m. So through the day today, through the night tonight, this will eventually become a northeast storm. Now, something very interesting happening here is on the southern end, we get another storm developing, potential snowfall for Oklahoma, Missouri, Arkansas, and then eventually we see Kentucky, Illinois, Indiana, Ohio as well, seeing some of this moderate snowfall, light to moderate snowfall. Mostly going to be like snowfall showers, but still very interesting to see a little bit of an organized snowfall event take place. And then afterwards, we see some snowfall showers lingering for Saturday into Sunday. As things continue on, we do get a little bit of a coastal storm to close out the weekend, bringing a bit of snowfall alongside some lake effect snowfall. So we see some different things going on here. We have this moderate snowfall inland, probably very heavy snowfall coming off the lakes here Sunday into Monday. Very, very interesting stuff. That lake effect is going to be a common theme as we see a lot of cold air moving through. Now for the south central United States, we get another snowstorm potentially, and this one moves up into the upper Midwest, Ohio Valley, and Great Lakes and becomes a bit of a major snowstorm for a lot of these areas. Moderate to heavy snowfall, and we see some of this transfer over to New York and Pennsylvania here in the overnight hours. As the daytime temperatures roll through, though, we do see the things kind of warming, and this becomes a bit of a wintry mess here for the Northeast and the portions of the Mid-Atlantic. Very, very interesting. Timing and exact details aren't going to be too crucial at this stage of the game. It's mostly going to be that we have, multiple snowfall events taking place as this colder air moves in. Those are the details we want to focus in on. We see snowfall lingering here, showers across the Northeast and the Ohio Valley and Great Lakes there, lingering on. This is by Thursday the 17th. Watch this swing down. We see this system swing down and swing back up along the jet stream. So watch this closely as we see a bit of a clipper system. It's going to bring snowfall in lighter quantities to a swath just about like this. I want to see how accurate that is. That's pretty good. Yeah, we do see quite a bit of snowfall. And the other thing to pay attention to is we see this bit of energy swing down, and it's about here. But there's also this piece of energy here along the East Coast by this point. So you'll see that take place as well. And there's a pretty decent shot if something like this was to line up that they could just, become one big old system. If that was to take place, we could see a lot more major of an event here on Saturday the 19th or around that weekend. Again, specific details not too important. We do get this coastal storm developing into a pretty organized low for the East Coast. But again, these two pieces of energy can't really merge. But if they did, we would see a lot more from this. Now things flatten out after this point. We do see a bit of storminess for the Northwest here, some snowfall, some rainfall depending on where you're at, but overall things really do flatten out and become very boring. Total precipitation through the next 15 days. Anywhere in the whites, we're expecting practically no precipitation. Your grays, 1/10 of an inch or less of precipitation. Your greens, 1/10 of an inch to 1/2 an inch. Your blues, 1/2 an inch to an inch. Your yellows, 1 inch to 2 inches. Reds, 2 to 5 inches. And then your browns, 5 to 10 inches of precipitation. Your blues even being 10 to 15, and we do see some of that there for Washington State. Now, total snowfall, no surprise here. We don't see a lot in the west compared to what we have been seeing, but for areas east of the Rockies here and north of the southeast, basically the deep south, we see quite a bit of snowfall here across the Midwest, the Great Plains, the Ohio Valley, the upper Midwest, the Great Lakes, the Northeast. We see the East Coast is obviously still pretty warm with the water temperatures, so we don't get a lot of activity down here. But for areas inland and northward, we do see quite a bit for this time of year. Anywhere in the grays being a dusting, if anything. Blues, 2 to 6 inches of snowfall. Purples, 6 to 10. Pinks, 10 to 20 there. And then even your pastels being 20 to 30. That's for the blues. And then your pastel pinks being 30 to 48 inches plus. Certainly a lot expected for many different areas, especially Canada though. And now as we take a look at this temperature pattern, we can see the cold front. You can literally see where that cold front is located. You can tell that it is racing eastward, but we do see warm air racing northward here with this system that's currently in place. And this is going to be the case throughout the day today, and still a little bit of tomorrow for the eastern seaboard, the very, very eastern seaboard here. Still quite warm. But things really cool off, and we do see this first Arctic blast that is fully swung in by Sunday into Monday time frame. So we see Arctic blast number 1, and then by Tuesday we get a bit of the second one here taking place, Tuesday, Wednesday time frame, so it kind of just reinforces it. Friday we see another one moving in, and this one more major than all of the ones before it. The greens are 10 to 15 degrees below normal. Those purplish blue within the greens are going to be 15 to 25 degrees below normal. And then these magentas are going to be 25 to 35 degrees below normal. So certainly just frigid temperatures coming in. And this Arctic blast does reach into the eastern United States. This is potentially Arctic blast number 3 there by Monday the 21st. And then we get this one here for the Northeast. If this model is correct, it'll head into the Northeast. This easily could just head straight southward into the east, though. That would be around Tuesday the 22nd. This is when things get a little bit torchy, and it lasts from about the 24th through the 27th, at least on this model. But we'll take this with a grain of salt, as this is a big change from what we've been seeing, and we haven't seen this too consistently yet. So we'll have to watch this closely, but there is potential for a switch back towards a warmer pattern. We'll have to wait and see. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Be sure to like the video if you did enjoy it. Subscribe for daily uploads here, as we do upload every single day, and we will figure out what's going to happen with this pattern. We will get to the bottom of it, so tune in daily. You can even hit that bell icon to get daily notifications when those videos do arrive. Leave a comment down below with your thoughts, and I will see you guys in the next video.